Good evening, boys and girls. Today, we're gonna play Being Beauteous. It's the book. We're going to read a book today. because we can. It's a game on Desura, and it got a 9.1 out of 10. So apparently the story is pretty good. It's a book about Cinderella with anime girls in it. So so just be prepared for that. I don't want you going into this thinking it's like Battlefield 9 or something. Just you know, winter's coming up, a lot of people are sick, they're sitting in their beds, they're just like, oh man, you know, I feel like absolute garbage. I wish somebody would just come up to my room and sit in my lap and read to me Cinderella, and show me pictures of anime girls and tons of words, and anime girls, and there you go, here it is. I'm making your dream come true, so you're welcome. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started on this book here. God. Alright. Language selection. Well, I'm English. Not that English, I'm American English. But I could be that English. We'll do it anyways. There once was a man who married for the second time to the haughtiest and proudest woman that anyone had ever met. Look at me. There I am, staring into the fire. Yeah, I'm gonna pretend that I am in Cinderella, just so you know. And that's, I guess, the woman on the left there is my grandmother, or something. But I'm the chick down there staring into the fire. So here we go. He only had one child, a young girl who was sweet and kind beyond comparison, qualities that she inherited from her late mother, which annoyed her stepmother without ever growing weary with it. As soon as the wedding had ended, the vixen had a sudden burst of grumpiness, as she could not bear the qualities of the child, which made her two daughters, who were exactly the same as her, seem even more obnoxious. The more the young girl showed to be someone gracious and understanding, the more the woman felt humiliated and embarrassed. Just bear with me, okay? If you haven't already just backed out of the video, just bear with me, okay? Because this is a 9.1 out of 10 story. There has to be some sort of explosions and like lizard men in here or something. It's got to get real interesting, so just stick with it, and it's going to be great. I am 40% positive of that. Such perfection burned her face more surely than any mirror, and not being able to stand that, the stepmother instructed the child to do the vilest of chores in the house. She was going to scrub the toilet. No, she was the one who cleaned the dishes and stairs, rubbed off the grime on the floor of the stepmother and her daughter's bedrooms so that she scoured her skin. The young girl slept on top of the luxurious residence in a maid's room, subjected to air currents on the most terrible winter evenings and on a wretched straw mattress. In the meanwhile, her stepsisters were in heated and auspicious rooms, where they had the most expensive four-poster beds and mirrors, in which they gazed at themselves in all day long, admiring themselves from head to toe, because they're, basically just, you know, really narcissistic. And that's how it goes. The poor girl endured all of this in silence with great patience, according to the precepts of her late mother, and didn't dare complain to her father, as she feared that he would scold her because the stepmother had him under her thumb, because he was a very small man, and she could easily squish him. Once she had finished her chores, she had huddled near the edge of the fireplace, sitting in the cinders, trying to warm herself. Which was why in the house she was called Cinderella. Oh, that's a good way to put that. That's good. Maybe that's even how it was in the original story. I wouldn't know, I didn't read it. Saw the Disney movie. It ruled. However, even with her filthy rags, Cinderella was 100 times more beautiful than her beautifully dressed sisters. Oh man, we're changing scenes, thank God. There I am with my beautiful emerald eyes. One day, the king's son arranged a ball, where he would invite all ladies of quality from near and far. And I am just the most quality lady you'll ever meet, you know? I mean, I'm just grade A quality. Some say it was his father's idea to hold the ball, so the prince could find someone whom he fancied, as the prince was the perfect age to become king, but was acting stubborn and refused to marry, because he's a jerk. Cinderella's sisters were invited as well, of course. I don't know why I paused right there. Cinderella's sisters were invited as well. of course, since they had a high reputation in the country for being skanks. And that's exactly the first people that you invite to your party. If you're ever hosting a ball, this is just my experience, you know. If you're ever hosting a ball and there's princesses in the kingdom and stuff like that, hold off on those first, okay? Don't invite the princesses yet. Make sure you invite all the local skanks first, and then you invite the princesses and stuff. So that's my 2 cents about that. Overjoyed, the 2 girls quickly began searching for the dresses and, which suited them best. Coiffeurs. Searching for the dresses and coiffures which suited them best, which did nothing but pile more work onto Cinderella, since it was she who ironed her sister's clothes. In their house, almost all they spoke of was how they were going to dress. "I'm going to wear my red velvet dress and my necklace from England," proclaimed the eldest sister. "Well, I'm going to wear my usual skirt, but to accent it, I'll be wearing my coat with golden flowers and my diamond barrier, which is not the most indifferent," the younger sister replied. So as to adorn themselves, they called Cinderella for her thoughts on their outfits, as she had great taste. Thank you, I have the best taste in both men and clothes, because I'm Cinderella. Not me, personally. Cinderella did her best to give them her advice, and she even offered to fix their hair for them, and they accepted. Aw, the 2 siblings were so overjoyed that they were almost unable to eat for a whole day, because they were bulimic, and snapped over 12 laces, trying to tighten their corsets to make their waists look thinner, because as I said before, they were skanks. They're actually like giant mammoth, like the pictures you see right here of the two women right here, like these are just, you know, like an artist's rendering of what they actually were, you know, like an anime rendering. I mean, these sisters are huge. They're like hippos, right? But I guess that's a nice way to show them. And so basically corsets, that's not going to do anything. It's basically just going to make them look like a stretched ham. So here we go. They were in front of the mirror nearly all day long, contemplating themselves over and over again. Oh, we're switching scenes. This is so great. Oh, look at that. Who's that? Who's that little girl? When the awaited day of the ball came, Cinderella watched them off, her heart heavy, a touch of envy piercing her chest. She just had taquitos that day, and it was actually probably a little bit of a heartburn. Her, a girl who had never been able to leave the house, wished that for once, just once, she could see with her own eyes what a ball was, and have her own adventures, like the ones her sisters always bragged about. The moment her sister's carriage disappeared into the distance, she began to sob into her black clothes that are just covered in soot from where she just hunches over and sits in the fireplace all day like a freak. Actually, it's me. I completely got out of character just then. I'm sorry. I sit in the fireplace all day and squat down in the ashes. The empty house returned her to tears in a mournful echo. The fairy godmother, who was passing by to say goodbye, she was leaving to return to her native country of Oompa Loompa Land, saw her in this state and became quite upset. She was a fairy, as all godmothers were in ancient times, but because men had turned away from magic and didn't believe in it anymore, the fairies lost their powers and slowly disappeared into nothingness. Only Cinderella's late mother had continued believing in fairies to perpetuate the custom, but that was not enough to guarantee the existence of that fairy in particular, so she felt like she needed to leave, like her sisters before her, in their hidden realm. After seeing Cinderella in tears, she decided that she would allow herself to do one more good deed before leaving, and she asked her what had happened. Ashamed, Cinderella confessed that she wanted nothing but for one night, one sole night, live like her sisters did on a daily basis. Tenderly, her fairy godmother replied, "Suck it up." "If that is all, then I shall help you to go. Consider it my departing gift to you." The fairy godmother thought deeply for a few moments, then declared, "Go to the garden and bring me a pumpkin. I'm awful famished, and I would like to eat." Cinderella quickly complied, finding the best pumpkin that she could, while wondering how this could even help her to get to the ball, because this is so flippin' ridiculous. Why do I need to go digging in the f***ing fields and get a stupid pumpkin so that I can turn into a princess?